Jerusalem Talmud Yomi, Tractate Orlah, Chapter 3, Mishnah 2, with the words Hatzovea Melo Hasit, Beklipe Orlah. If somebody dyes a thread the length of a seat with Orlah shells, uses it to weave cloth, and it is not known where it is, Rabbi Meir says the cloth should be burned, but the sages say it may be lifted by 1 in 200. If somebody weaves the length of a seat of firstling's wool in cloth, the cloth must be burned. Hair of a Nazir or firstling donkey in sackcloth, the sackcloth must be burned. Of sanctified, it sanctifies in the most minute amount. Halacha. Who stated seat? That's spelled Samach Yud Tes. Rabbi Meir, but for the sages, seat or less than a seat follow the same rules. Rabbi Yossi ben Rabbi Abun said, in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yossi in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, mixed firstling wool becomes insignificant in a plurality. Rabbi Chia the Sephorian, Sipporah. Oh, it's from Sepphoris. It's Sippori. Rabbi Chia the Sephorian brought before Rabbi Ami a pound and 8, but the latter refused to rule, since had not Rabbi Asi said, is that not a Mishnah? If somebody weaves the length of a seat of a firstling's wool in a cloth, the cloth must be burned. He said to him, if you had objected there, it would have been correct. There we have stated these have to be burned, and we have stated these have to be buried. In one case you say they have to be burned, and in the other you say they have to be buried. Rabbi Yochanan said, Rabbi Yochanan said, here about sackcloth, there about hair. What is the difference between sackcloth and hair? Rabbi Hanania ben Rabbi Hillel said, a sack can be dug out, hair cannot be dug out. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish said, here in the temple, there in the countryside. Rabbi Yossi ben Rabbi Hanina says, here about a pure Nazir, there about an impure Nazir. But did we not state a firstling donkey? Can you say, here in the temple, there in the countryside? Here about a pure Nazir, there about an impure Nazir? It must be here about sackcloth, there about hair. Rabbi Yossi ben Rabbi Abun said, when one says it has to be burned, it's hair. When one says it has to be buried, it's body. One sanctified, it sanctifies in the most minute amount. Rabbi Yossi in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. That means sacrifices that will be permitted, but sacrifices that never will be permitted need a seat. Rabbi Yossi objected, does not the Mishnah disagree? If somebody weaves the length of a seat of firstling's wool in a cloth, the cloth must be burned. It is a firstling, not a sacrifice, that will be permitted. Some state this in the name of Rabbi Meir. Some do not state this in the name of Rabbi Meir. Those who state this in the name of Rabbi Meir hold that 10 things sanctify. According to those who do not state this in the name of Rabbi Meir, could we know that he holds that 10 things sanctify? Rabbi Meir follows Rabbi Akiva, as Rabbi Akiva said, also privately baked loaves.